welcome to the first official video of 2024. I know it's been a while since I posted anything, and I'm really sorry about that. I just had to take a couple of months off, get myself together, and the first video we will be doing for this year will be a review of Blake Crouch's Dark Matter. If anyone is new to the channel and forgets how any of these videos work, the way we do this is each video is broken down into a couple sections. First section being a summary of the story of the book. Second section is what I thought worked about the book. Third section is what I think didn't quite work with the book. Fourth and final section is my overall thoughts on the book and the rating. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. So, starting with the story section, this book follows Jason Dessen, who is a local college professor whose life gets turned upside down when one night he gets kidnapped and learns about the multiverse, which forces him to go on this crazy journey through different realities in order to find his way home. So, starting in on what I think worked about the book. The first thing I really loved about this book was how Crouch used the multiverse, because the way the multiverse works in this book is each world that they jump to is representative of their mental state when they go into that reality, which I think is a great idea because it's a way to do character development, because each world can obviously represent whatever they're thinking about in that moment. So I think it's a great character development tool to really get inside the headspace of the character without necessarily doing full internal monologue sort of stuff. It's just a really cool world building idea that I think Blake Crouch did such an interesting job with the multiverse. I haven't seen someone use the multiverse concept like this, so I really enjoyed that. And I think it was just a very unique take on the multiverse and how it's used. The other thing that this book does very well is the explanation of the physics of the multiverse. It's never too complicated. This book doesn't over-explain the physics of the multiverse and how it works. It gives you enough to understand how it works without overwhelming you with the information on this. So I think that's very good writing on Blake Crouch's part, because it's super easy to like go full force and explain everything about the multiverse and how it works and kind of overwhelm and bore people maybe. But I think this book does a really good job at keeping it small enough to be understood without being super overwhelming, but still in a very interesting way. Again, like I said earlier, with the whole reflection of their mental state sort of thing. But I really enjoyed this book and the explanation on how all of the multiverse works. So, second thing I really think worked for this book was the use of the human connection, because Jason is basically hopping through all of these multiverse realities in order to get back to his home reality, Daniela, his wife, and his son. But each version of reality that Jason jumps to, he views different ways that their lives could have gone. There's a version of Daniela most of the time. This book does a really cool idea with the human connection, because every reality Jason jumps to, there is some sort of version of Danielle, but it's not quite his version of Danielle, and it's just a very cool way to have Jason sort of be going mad because he's so close to his version, but he can't quite get there. But I absolutely love the book's focus on human connection, even in the multiverse, and all of the insanity and possibilities that that gives you. The human connection in this book is just incredibly important and really well used. So, jumping to what I think didn't quite work. One of the other characters that Jason follows, her name's Amanda. She helps Jason out a little bit while he's traveling through the multiverse trying to get back home. She kind of suffers from a lack of development because she's just kind of there for a while helping Jason, and about maybe a little over halfway through or so, Amanda just kind of leaves and goes off on her own to find her own new reality to live in. She's never given sort of any big character development, and I kind of think that's a shame, because what we do get from her character development is interesting, because we get to hear a little bit about her past, and one of the realities that they jump into reflects what she's saying. So I kind of think that it was a shame that we didn't get an explanation on Amanda and like more about her, but I get it at the same time. Jason is the main focus, but it would have been nice to give Amanda at least some sort of bigger arc or something. I feel like there was a chance to give Amanda more character development in general. I don't know. The book's good, but I just think it could have been a little bit bit better if we got more of an explanation on Amanda and like who she is as a person. So the biggest thing in this book for me, because of how short it is, we only see so many worlds. There's large chunks of this book where there's basically time skips where we'll hear about worlds that Jason has jumped to, but we never see them. And the way the multiverse works, this would have been a really good way to show Jason's decline in his mental state, and all of the realities we see get like slowly, progressively darker and darker, like just represent how he's kind of losing hope in all of this. I think would have been perfect. Again, I get that the book's not that long, that it's got to kind of move through the story relatively quick, but I think it missed a really good opportunity to kind of expand on these worlds and give character development to Jason at the same time, as well as further the physics on the multiverse in this book. Again, I wanted to see more worlds because I love the idea of how Blake Crouch used the multiverse in this world. Overall, I really enjoyed the book. I just wanted more worlds and to see how this world works more. Hey everyone, final thoughts on Blake Crouch's Dark Matter here. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I think it's an easy sci-fi book to kind of get into. It's not that complicated. Science is very well explained. The characters, I think, are pretty interesting. At least Jason, I think, is pretty interesting. The overall story of the book is really interesting with this duality of what your life could have been if things had gone differently, and the human connection part of this story was really great. I overall really enjoyed this book. I think it is a really good introduction to sci-fi. So I'm going to be giving Blake Crouch's Dark Matter a 3.5 out of 5. As always, if you guys have read Blake Crouch's Dark Matter before and want to leave your thoughts on it, please feel more than free to leave those in the comments, but please keep the comments spoiler-free for anyone who hasn't read the book and might want to in the future, but otherwise go crazy. If you guys have other books you want me to do reviews on in the future, feel free to leave those down in the comments. I'm always looking for something interesting to read. If you want to follow me on social media, my Instagram and TikTok are both our own book reviews. I will put all that stuff in the comments so you guys can go and follow that and check it out. There's a bunch of stuff on my TikTok that is not on the channel or on my Instagram, so I would highly recommend go and check that out. A lot of good stuff. That is going to be it for me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do not forget, like, share, subscribe, and hit the subscribe button so you do not miss a video. I will see you guys next video. Till then, have a great week, and don't forget, keep on reading.